market opportunity in banking in 2012 is primarily focused around regulatory compliance and customer centricity, with a real focus on the acquisition and retention of profitable customers. We look at the IT spend of being in excess of $60 billion, so there's tremendous opportunity for our solutions provider partners to go capture some of that opportunity. In terms of technology spend and how it relates to the top priorities, I think what we're seeing is an increased emphasis on regulatory compliance, specifically around data. Most of our technology providers have solutions focused around storage or data management. They're going to have a direct impact on how banks are looking at not only their exposure, but how they respond to market risk. And those are the primary focuses of the regulatory change that's happening in the market today. In terms of the hot technologies in the banking space, I think obviously everything around storage is going to continue to be critical, but when we look at mobile banking and the impacts that has on how customers interact with the institutions that they choose to do business with, we see a tremendous amount of opportunity focused around how that customer information is being managed and leveraged across multiple channels. How those banks and credit unions ultimately leverage that is going to impact the customer experience. And solution providers are have a great opportunity to really focus in on how the customers interact with the bank, so looking at portal technologies and ultimately call center technologies as well. In terms of partners who haven't done a lot of business in the banking space and want to break into that market, I think that the real focus is on understanding what the industry drivers and some of the important challenges are within the industry that they can focus on. What we've done as part of Financial Path is really try to provide the information and the education and enablement around that. So for a partner who wants to go focus in this area, it's as much about understanding their competencies as it is about the industry. The biggest challenge for most folks is understanding exactly what a particular regulatory requirement looks like from an IT standpoint. What we've done is really tried to spend a lot of time understanding what the changes are that are coming down the road and really looking at which technology solutions are going to fit into that space. Obviously, IT security is going to continue to be a major driver. We look at storage and big data as also a real challenge that the banks are looking for service providers to focus on and help them with. So from our perspective, we think there's a myriad of opportunity there. It's really about focusing in on the specifics. Well, the financial industry has its own challenges around big data, as any industry does. It's certainly something that they've had to focus a lot of effort on recently. In fact, I've looked at recent IT spend estimates that are in excess of $2 billion on storage alone to deal with that data. One of the challenges that I've found is that most of our partners, they understand the opportunity, but in terms of how to deal with it, it's the big challenge. Banks have the same needs as everyone else does. Ultimately, it's about figuring out how to manage the data, how to store it, how to archive it, and then how to use it effectively. By leveraging Avnet's Solutions Path Engagement Services, our partners can accelerate their entry into high-growth vertical markets more quickly than they could on their own. IDC analysts estimate that it would take 2 years to build a vertical market practice on your own. That includes time and significant investment beyond what it would take to build one with Avnet.